Rochester parents react to the possibility of a curfew for their kids.
Would you support this if something like this were to happen?
Absolutely. For the children, I will.
Now, it's all because of this weekend's violence that left 8 people injured. It all started about 12:30 a.m., just 2 hours after the city's fireworks show ended. Rochester police say more than 50 rounds were fired from multiple guns. 7 people were shot at 2 different scenes, and they believe those scenes are connected. The youngest victim was 12. A 16-year-old was stabbed. Right now, 3 people, including a 17-year-old, are facing criminal possession of a weapon charges. The 2 adults charged are Jadell Williams and Larry Dillion. RPD says more charges are possible as they uncover more details during the investigation. Monroe County's district attorney is pushing for witnesses to come forward.
To those who are present or know what happened, now is the time to come forward. Someone knows who was involved, someone saw something, and your information could make the difference in bringing those responsible to justice.
Now, Mayor Evans says he's consulting with his legal department on how to implement a curfew in the city. Rochester tried to implement one in 2006. 2 years later, an appellate court overturned it, saying it was too broad. But the ongoing gun violence state of emergency now gives the mayor power to implement that curfew legally. New at 11, we're hearing from parents on whether they want a curfew for their kids. News 10 NBC's Tom Kowalski joins us live from the scene of the shooting on East Avenue and South Union Street. So, Tom,
Yeah, well, Deanna, the ones that I spoke with tonight said that they, yes, they do like the idea of a curfew. At today's press conference, Mayor Evans asked the question, where are these kids' parents? Now, if you remember just a few months ago, he asked a very similar question after those fights broke out at Ontario Beach Park. That has led him to, as you mentioned, ask his legal team about the feasibility of something like this being implemented here in the city. Now, I spoke with Rochester parents to see how they, what they had to say about the potential curfew at the annual Cuts for Peace barbershop event.
12:30 is too late for a 12-year-old to be hanging out by themselves, and in many instances younger.
That's why Mayor Malik Evans says he's looking into the feasibility of a curfew for those under the age of 18, just days after this scene left 4 minors in the hospital from gunshot wounds and a stabbing.
It's a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for violence.
And the mayor isn't the only one looking for ways to minimize youth violence. Andre Morrison, of Andre's Barbershop, hosted Cuts for Peace Monday afternoon, aiming to promote community harmony.
We were to stop the violence movement. We have free toys, free haircuts, we have food, we have music, entertainment, we have family, we have community to bring awareness in the community to promote peace.
And while the kids were getting their haircuts, I spoke with parents about the potential curfew.
It's the first step to implement something. I know back in the day they had something similar.
Kanisha Stewart is the mother of 2 boys. She feels this is the right move for the city.
To implement something like that, I would say would be a first step to see what we can do to stop the violence and to lower these crime rates.
I went through a lot of bad paths in my past, and I had a curfew when I was 17, you know, and I feel like that's something that helped me.
Alminton Carvajal is also in favor of the potential curfew.
I feel like that would be the better, you know, the better next step to take for this to happen, because I want to see my kids grow.
Now, I do just want to emphasize this is something that Mayor Evans is exploring the possibility of. There's no telling if this will actually be implemented, if it's actually legal to be implemented, or if it is implemented, what the parameters of this curfew may be. But if that does happen, we'll let you know right here on News 10 NBC. For now, though, live from East and Union Streets, Tom Kowalski, News 10 NBC.
Tom, thank you so much. Now, several other area towns and cities in western New York enforce youth curfews. Let's go in depth now. East Rochester doesn't allow minors in public places past 11 p.m. on weekends and 10 p.m. on weeknights. The cities of Buffalo and Batavia have curfews of their own with similar rules, although Batavia grants an exception if the minor is accompanied by an adult over the age of 21.